I'm Taryn Smith, and welcome to SJWho. I'm introducing you to change makers making an impact in our community. Today, I have some members of our St. John's Greek Life here. Go ahead.
My name is Ariana Smith.
I'm Liz Rodwald.
And I'm Brenda Heredia.
Thank you guys so much for being here. So I'm just going to get us started. What made you originally want to join Greek Life?
Originally, I had no prior knowledge on Greek life at St. John's or in general, and one of my friends convinced me to go to the first day of recruitment, and I kind of just fell in love with it and fell in love with the idea of having a sisterhood at St. John's, and I just kept going, and it's really been one of the best decisions I could have done.
Yeah, for me, I at the time lived in California, so traveling so far for school, I was like really scared and really nervous, and I think it was really tough making friends because I was also 18 years old and I was like a fresh little chicken. Like I had no clue what to do with my life, and so I was like looking for this community of people that really were like high achieving, like really wanted something greater than just the normal St. John's experience. And I like ended up like tripping and falling into recruitment, and all of a sudden I like that I was like a sister, and it was really like wicked and awesome just to like see growth and like just see people that wanted something so bad and they were looking for like-minded people and like really cool and really aspiring like women.
Absolutely.
Also piggybacking off of her, one of the first people that I did meet on campus as a freshman my first week was people from Greek Life and people from girls from my sorority. So from the moment I did come into St. John's, I knew that it could have positive and like long-lasting effects on me, and I always admired them and the type of leaders that they were, so I always was attracted to Greek Life.
That's wonderful. What's something you've learned since becoming part of that sisterhood?
I think something that I've learned, there's a quote that says, if you want to go far, go by yourself, but if you want to go kind of like a long-lasting distance, go together, which is also kind of like really kind of ties in the whole mission of Greek Life, in terms of like you're never going to be alone by yourself, no matter whether you're going through success or trials. You always have people around you who genuinely care about you no matter what.
What's something you guys have learned?
For me, I think that leadership roles in my sorority have definitely made me understand how to make a decision for a group of people. And that doesn't always connect to what you personally would have decided, but doing something for the greater good is like something I now realize, and especially my career path has made such an impact and has really helped me make decisions like at my internships and at my jobs and stuff like that.
So I hear you all have said the same words over and over. I hear leadership, I hear sisterhood, and I hear doing good. Tell me more about that. What is some highlights of your sorority? What is your purpose on this campus?
So for us, one of our biggest things is service, and we have we work closely with a local philanthropy, the Ronald McDonald House of Long Island, and we also have 2 national philanthropies, and being able to go and do hands-on work with children and the families that the Ronald McDonald House is changing the lives of is the most rewarding thing for me. Just being able to give back, and we do fundraisers as well, but the hands-on work that I don't know if I would have ever been a part of in that capacity has really made my experience full.
Yeah, I can totally agree with that. Like for us, one of our local philanthropies is St. Mary's Children's Hospital. So we get to go in, I'd say like about once a month, and like in previous years we've done it like every 2 weeks. We have sisters going in and just like spending time with kids that are really sick and that like some are terminally ill, but like you come back with such a sense of gratitude. And one of the most amazing things I think about Greek Life is that it is student run. So for us, like we've had sisters lately that are so passionate about advocacy and like women's rights and everything like that. So we even have an event coming up that's about women's rights and like domestic abuse and like women standing up for who they are. And part of that, like having those events and taking that initiative, is the voices of the sisters saying, you know what, this is what I want from an organization, and this is what I want to be like projected that's so positive, and like this rocking image of like what a woman can be. And I think that just part of Greek Life is like something that I've learned so much, and like things that we do so much is like pushing what a woman can do to the max. And yeah, I guess like just really making sure that a woman's voice is heard is like one of our major pillars. And we're doing a lot of work right now with little special kids, and it's so awesome. I love it so much.
I think one of the most beautiful parts of Greek Life is the ability to kind of let you know that you have a voice.
Yeah.
No matter where you are, whether it's, you know, you're on campus or, you know, once you transition off into your career, you know, always taking pride in your voice and the message that you're giving. And I feel like for us and in my sorority, we always take pride in the programs and the events that we're giving, whether we have events on women's rights, whether it's animal rights, whether it's policy and government issues going on in the United States currently. We always make sure that we include everyone's voice, not just only ours and our experience, but everyone else's experiences as well.
All right, now I hear all of you were talking about community work. Is this a constant in all sororities and fraternities? Do they all have philanthrophies?
Yes.
Yes, and fraternities do as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, this is really, really interesting.
There's philanthropy and service on different levels.
Okay.
Philanthropies are through your nationals. So if you have more than one, you're a national sorority or fraternity. And doing so, your founders, you know, came up with these philanthropies. And then what we were talking about with local philanthropies, it's something that's specific to our chapter specifically, and that's to get more involved in the community. Yeah.
Why are sororities and fraternities, why are they important to a college campus?
I think gives students a place to go that want to do positive things and want to feel that sense of family.
Yeah.
Because I think that, like, even going through, like, high school and stuff like that, you have your family constantly with you and supporting you. But, like, this is such a concrete group of, like, friends, supporters, national connections. Like, I wouldn't have half the jobs that I've had because of, like people that I've already known in the past. And it's been, like, just something that is so concrete and is seen as concrete through the university. It's recognized by the university. And I think that it's been proven to do good for students. Like, it gives you a purpose, gives you a mutual group of, like, believers in something, like, that's more awesome than the current mission of, like, what you're doing.
Yeah.
How do you feel that sororities and fraternities are seen by students that are not part of them?
Something that stuck out to me during my recruitment process was from the outside looking in, you can never fully understand. And from the inside looking out, you can never fully explain. And I feel as though we do so many things, and I feel like a lot does go a little unrecognized because, and then sometimes, especially like nationally, I feel like Greek life has this persona towards it, and a lot of the times that's really not who we are.
Yeah, and I think that, like, we're a lot of the time seen as individual organizations. Like, I don't know if you guys can agree with me on that, but, like, or people look at me and just be like, oh, she's a sister of so-and-so sorority, she has pink hair, she's got nose rings, like, that's what they're looking for. And I'm like, no, not everybody has to have a wicked hair color, not everybody has to have, like, nose piercings. Like, a lot of the time we're misjudged, and I think people take us a lot at surface level. And then when they, like, get to go through that recruitment process, or they get to, like, go through just, like, sitting down and eating lunch with me, I don't know, like, you get to know that, like, we're real people and we all do real things, and, like, we're here because we're passionate about service, because we're passionate about something that's not just, like, what I'm doing right now, like, or me, like, writing a paper. Like, I want more out of this world, and I want more out of this university. And people do that in different ways, but for Greek life especially, like, it's just such a way of, like, connecting in friendships and, like, lifelong, like, commitments.
So I love what you touched upon, is that what they're looking for? So what would you to someone, there's a high likelihood that someone watching or could be watching this who's considering joining Greek life at their university, whether it be St. John's or somewhere else, what advice do you have for them?
I would say learn about the Greek organization's values, because like you mentioned, how people sometimes judge on surface level, that's where that ends. It starts and ends at surface level. If you only judge an organization by that, you'll never understand why we find a home in each other. And that's through our values. We're all very different individuals, and I'm sure you guys could attest in your own individual organizations, but our values bind us together, and that's what makes us a lifelong sisterhood.
Yeah.
I think something else that I would say to that, especially, you know, when you're first starting in doing your research, definitely go where it feels like home. I feel like sometimes with Greek life, a lot of people think, well, like, oh, it has to be forced, or like it's fake, or, you know, it happens overnight. I think it's really important to go where you feel like you belong and where you feel destined, because like we've been saying, like, it's lifelong. You're here for the long haul. And just be somewhere where you feel accepted and where you feel loved and where you can feel around people who can support you and motivate you to become the best possible version of yourself, because ultimately that was the purpose of our organizations in some aspect as well.
I would even go to say, like, look for the people that you want to be like.
Yeah.
Because I think for me, when I was joining my organization, like, the person that I looked up to the most, I was like, I my mom would be so proud of me if I was ever like her. Like,
Yeah.
I look at in awe of this girl because, like, she does so much and she's so humble and she's, like, so strong. Like, I want to be like her because you assimilate to the crowd that you're around. So if you're around people that, like, maybe you, like, are on your level, like, no, shoot for one higher. Like, you want to be something more than, like, what you are now, like, pursuit of happiness, pursuit of greatness, but, like, you want to be something greater. So, like, when I was choosing an organization, I felt like the girls that I chose, like, those are the people that I wanted to be like. Those are the ones that I saw out there, like, kicking ass, taking names. Like, I wanted to be something so cool and so awesome that they were. So, like, it would be an honor and a privilege to be a part of that as well.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. So you guys say our organizations. Is there a difference between, I know you were mentioning earlier, Panhellenic. Like, want to tell us more about the different organizations?
Yeah, so St. John's University has 3 different councils.
Okay.
We have the Panhellenic Council, which is all-encompassing sororities, the Interfraternal Council, which is all-encompassing fraternities, and the Multicultural Greek Alliance,
Okay.
which is for different interest organizations for different cultures and things like that. And all 3 make up Greek life at St. John's. So we're individually unique and we all have our own aims and purposes, but together we come together to be Greek life.
Okay, and without saying which sorority you're part of, because we will reveal that later, which sororities what group are you guys in? Are you with?
Part of the Panhellenic Council.
I'm also Panhellenic.
And I'm part of the Multicultural Greek Alliance.
Very interesting. Are they very different, or do they operate in a lot of the same ways?
We are different in terms of, like, the purposes that we were founded in. There's a lot of rich history behind ours and kind of just the backdrop of, like, how far we've come and kind of, like, the purpose and the mission, and then also as well kind of like the way we do kind of invite members into our organizations is a bit different, but nonetheless, we all still do the same philanthropy purposes, programs,
Great.
social. It still kind of comes full circle.
All right, and then for Johnny's out there, are there opportunities for those of us that are not part of Greek life to be part of your events, and how often do you have them?
We have 3 events this week.
Okay.
Which is, like, kind of wild. We have, like, tons of events going on always, like, and I think because a lot of our events are charity focused and, like, charity based, like, welcome, come on in, come all. And I think that that's a lot of stigmas in Greek life, is that we're, like, uninviting, but, like, I feel like I'm the goofiest, like, kid on the block.
Yeah.
Like, if you walked up to me, I'd be like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, we would welcome anybody into, like, our events, anything like that. And, like, especially for us, like, in my particular organization, we have an event coming up on Monday next week, which is December 3rd. Come on, come all. But we're doing it to support a sister whose mother, like, passed away of cancer, like, less than 2 months ago. And so, like, that fund, like, it's not going to, like, our organization. Like, we want people to know that, like, it's something that anybody can do. Like, we're going to do, like, a paint night. Like, how fun is that? Like, I want to do that. And so, like, I would want anybody from any organization to come, or, like, my friends that aren't in Greek life to come. Like, I don't know, I think we're very open arms. We don't always get looked at as open arms,
Yeah.
but we definitely are open arms, warm hugs.
And I mean, we live in a social media era.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you want to get involved, the best way is to start following people on social media,
That's a great
the
idea.
organizations. I know for my organization, we are constantly posting. And if anyone is interested, next Thursday, we have Thursday, December 7th, 6th. Sorry. And we have a Jingle Jam event with a lot of other organizations on campus. So we collaborate, and you're able to meet more than just one person. And it's a Toys for Tots drive, but also we're going to be having like a movie night and some games and food involved too.
You know, I really love what you had said about open hearts and warm hugs. I feel like that's what you ladies have been basically saying throughout this entire interview, that is what makes up Greek life at St. John's. So on that note, change makers in your community, here you have them with open hearts and warm hugs.
Theta Phi Alpha.
Phi Sigma Sigma.
Lambda Theta Alpha Line Sorority Incorporated.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sharing your truth. We'll see you next week at SJWho.